Hey, good morning. Good morning to you. Hope you're having a great week so far. This is definitely not the norm for me. My habit, as you know, is typically going to the beach, seeing the sunrise, walking the dog, getting up at 4:30. I'm wearing no shoes, maybe some shorts, Florida life, right? And here we are in the mountains, definitely out of my routine. Maybe your routine is off this week. Maybe you're away. I don't know what it looks like for you, but it made me think about habits, and it made me think about people wanting to break bad habits. And my question to you is, in this chilly morning, it's about 34 degrees, is about habits and how to break bad habits. It's kind of crazy. So my morning typically looks like 4:30 a.m. Get up, have quiet time, coffee, do my deep work, and then I get out the door and walk the dog. And I'm way off routine, definitely off my normal routine and my normal habits. And maybe you are too. Maybe you have off this week, and maybe you don't even have a routine, and maybe you have some habits in those routines that have not served you too well. And I want to share with you how to break bad habits. First, I want to share with you that you really can't break bad habits. How do you change habits, however? That's another possibility. And I don't know what it looks like for you. I'd love to know if you have some habits that you'd like to change. Send me a message. You can even drop it down below. Oh, I won't call you out on that. Look at these beautiful mountains. Really pretty. Heard some gunshots. Maybe there's some hunting going on. Not too close to here. We were looking for some deer. So out of my routine. So this morning for me was I got up at 6. I stayed in bed, did a little quiet time. No dog here. We didn't take our dog here. Way off my routine. And it's interesting. Habits are developed over time. So my habit of getting up early is just something that I have developed over time. And how to break bad habits takes time. And how you do it is by developing new habits. So I don't know what kind of habits you need in your life. I don't know what kind of habits you currently have, but if you're maybe trying to change the path that you're on, maybe you're trying to lose some weight, and maybe you're trying to get on a healthy journey. Maybe you want to take more time for yourself, maybe not have as much stress in your life, maybe have more energy. Maybe be able, we're gonna go over to these mountains today, or somewhere over here. Grandfather Mountain, you might have heard of it. We're about maybe 20 minutes from here, and we're gonna go and do some hiking today. And that's something out of the not the norm for me, but I've developed some healthy habits that are gonna allow me to enjoy my time with my family. So really, when it comes to breaking bad habits, think in terms of not so much breaking habits, like breaking old habits, but maybe starting to develop new habits. And when you start to develop new habits, what happens is those supersede when you start to focus on the things that you want to focus on. Now, unfortunately, not that people really focus on being overweight and unhealthy. I feel like I'm in Alaska, but it is about 34 degrees here. It is pretty cold. It doesn't feel cold right now because there's no wind, but it is pretty chilly. And this Florida blood is thinned out for sure. So my question to you is, if you're trying to break old habits, maybe in the reframe, it's to think about developing new habits. Now, how do I go about developing new habits, Mark? I've been struggling on this weight loss journey for a long time. And maybe one of your habits is starting a resolution and starting to do a diet and starting to do something that you know didn't serve you well last time. The last year when you joined the gym and never went, or tried to do a weight loss diet, tried to count calories, tried to do Weight Watchers or keto, or maybe even tried on your best efforts. And the difference is sometimes when you're developing new habits, it's helpful to learn from people that have already doing it. And you see, one of the things for me in the course of my life, especially probably in the last 10 years, what's helped me a lot is to surround myself with other people who I say are like-minded. So try to surround yourself with other people. And that's why part of my coaching program, what I love so much is that the men and women that are in there, they're on the very similar journey. a journey that's meant to help improve themselves, to get better, to develop new habits, healthy habits. And that's something that's much easier to do together than to try to do it on your own. Because what happens when you do it on your own, typically you start to go back to old habits, right? Okay, I need to do dieting. I need to count calories. This is a beautiful house, by the way. We're on the top floor. Such a beautiful place. Got a little fire pit down there. Isn't that pretty neat? We didn't use it yet. It's been too cold. And you're like, well, you get a fire pit. Well, we have a fireplace in there. They even have a Christmas tree in there for us. Pretty awesome. My family, we're here, and my sister-in-law and family are here. And it's definitely something that is not a typical tradition, but it's something new, and we're enjoying ourselves for sure. Hey, good morning, Joanne. Good morning, Betty and Lynch. Christopher, hey, what's up? The air is getting cold, so I'm going to go inside. So back to developing new habits. That's truly the key. You want to break old habits, reframe your mindset and thinking to how can I develop new habits? Well, you can do some of those on your own. You maybe can do that with a friend, maybe. A lot of times friends and people that are used to you being a certain way, used to you having certain type of habits, they end up being more of a saboteur than actually a helpful guide along the way. And one of the things that I want to encourage you going into the new year is to think about maybe having somebody to guide you along your path, maybe to surround yourself with people who are like-minded, who are also trying to improve their habits. And as well, you're trying to improve your habits. And one of the things I love about my inner circle community are men and women in there who are all on a similar path of improving, getting better, encouraging. And we meet up on a weekly basis. Even this week, and they know I'm out of town, I peeked in the group real quick. I couldn't help that. It's one of my habits, checking in on my students. Really beautiful, isn't it? No snow. We were thinking about going snowboarding, but I don't know if the snow is going to be there. Is to consider being around the people who are going to help you on your path to developing new habits. So listen, it is coming down to the end of the year, and maybe your year in 2021 wasn't exactly how you envisioned. Maybe you thought by now, okay, last year I said I'm going to get the 30, 40, 50 pounds off. And here you are now, not only fighting that battle still, but you're also worried about the last maybe month or so, or what you're going to do into the new year. Now, of course, you can do it a couple of different ways. You can go on your own path, right? You can certainly go on your own path. You can certainly go down the path of what you maybe tried before, the diets, and joining another gym and counting calories and Weight Watchers and removing sugar and removing all of this and that and removing food groups. And doing all those things, or going to the doctor and having them starve you and having them do some sort of medical type weight loss plan, or you can choose something different. And I want to encourage you, if you've done those things before, and that's kind of been a habit of before, to be in a family of like-minded people. And that's something that I've developed, my team has developed, and our inner circle has developed over the last 3.5 years now online. So it's your choice. You can wing it on your own, go back to some of the old ways, or a new way in the new year. And listen, I don't know if you saw, but look at the top of my posts. It's pinned at the top. I didn't know you can do that. And it's the whole enchilada. Before the end of the year, I'm going to let you know that we're doing one thing the last part of the year. For those of you who are now, again, if you're just thinking about losing weight or wanting to lose weight, you're probably not a good fit. But if you are serious about getting off the weight loss journey, and the only other thing you need is to be committed. If you're committed, then you can join potentially our family and see about getting off the weight loss journey once and for all. But I know it's Christmas week, and I know most of you are not thinking about it, but I'm not saying for right now. I'm saying for January 3rd, which is Monday, we have room for 5 more people. So reach out to me, let me know, 5 more men or women, and let me know if you want to join. But here's the deal. You got to get on a call. You got to get on my schedule next week when I'm back in town, and we can decide whether or not you'd be a good fit to start on a new path and a new journey going into 2022. Take care. Have a blessed day.